Jennifer Crumbley found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Her son, Ethan Crumbley, already serving his time for executing four of his classmates at Oxford High School in 2021. A verdict that is going to have repercussions for decades to come. Joining me to discuss exactly where this all goes from here, Robin Dreeke, retired FBI special agent. Robin, this is one where I didn't know where it was going to go, and I figured at some point, if it wasn't going to be her, it was going to be somebody that was going to get this guilty verdict and kind of shift the paradigm going forward. But what do you think this means? I know there's a lot that this means going forward in terms of her being found guilty and responsible for involuntary manslaughter in the actions of her son.
Yeah, Tony, I have been thinking about this case more than any case in a while, I think. And and there's a lot of reasons for it. And I was trying to figure out why. And the why of this, what I was trying to figure out in myself. And this kind of give everyone that's listening a little bit more of my behavior arc.
Hmm.
I'm a behaviorist. I'm not a granular guy when it comes to serial killers and things like that. I mean, I have knowledge base there, but I'm a human behaviorist because
Hmm.
of what I did with the FBI.
Yeah.
I'm more of that 30,000 foot level. And this one bothered me. And what bothered me about it was I seem to be out of sync with what a lot of people are saying. And what that is that a lot of people are saying this is going to be a big case and it's going to put parents on trial and parents are going to be more subjected to the legal system if their kids do something wrong. I mean, it's kind of a landmark case that people are fearing, and they thought that was a bad thing, a potentially bad thing. And I'm not having that kind of reaction to it. And I was asking myself, why aren't I having that same reaction? And it's because at the granular level, those arguments are 100% right. We have to be careful of that. Should the actions of others, should we be accountable for the actions of others, especially when their death is involved here? I know it's the first case that a parent is being held accountable at this level in a school shooting.
Hmm.
And here's why I literally came up why it's bothering me. Because as a society, I see this as a potentially good thing.
Hmm.
And here's why. We as a society have gotten away from community. We've gotten away from relationships. We've gotten away from healthy interactions with other human beings because for all these cases that you and I have covered for our time together and from our time forward, a lot of them could have been mitigated if there was a healthy, strong relationship that the perpetrator of the crime had.
Hmm.
I mean, think of Lori David Vallow,
Hmm.
the wacky mom that killed her kids with Chad. If there was healthier relationships in there that could have reached in and grabbed them and said, "Hey," shook them around and said, "Knock that off." When you think about the Ruby, Frankie,
Hmm.
and her kids, she's on trial because she abused her children. And you know what? If there was someone that actually had a healthy, strong relationship in there that was going to be held accountable, maybe they could have yanked them back. In other words, there's a lot of cases out there, I think, that could have been saved and people could have been saved by a healthier, stronger relationship that was vacant.
Yeah.
And so I see this as maybe it's a societal, again, let's get out of the granular because I agree. This is going to have an impact on other cases moving forward. But if we look at our country as at a greater whole, is it going to make us reflect a little bit more of can we do something? If we see someone go a little more sideways, if we look at Koberger,
Hmm.
another case of someone that granted there's he's still on trial, going to be on trial, don't always convict him up, but there's obviously a kind of broken brain with him regardless, and it's been diagnosed early on. Could someone have reached in and done a little bit more? Not saying father, because father has done a lot, but other people. In other words, I think a case like this makes us think deeper as individuals to those around us. Can we reach out and touch that pain point a little bit more? Is there something more that we can do to prevent these things as a society? So that's my long
Yeah.
monologue, and I apologize for
No,
that.
and at the core there, I 100% agree with you. And I think, if we had unicorns and rainbows everywhere, it'd be wonderful. that that
And I think
that
that's where I'm at on
that
it. It's a
exactly
unicorn and
what
rainbow thing.
that exactly what you're saying would have the effect of what you're talking about. In a perfect world, 100% agree. And to those of us who are already responsible parents, or at least trying our darndest to be, as we all navigate the world of parenting, we see this and we go, oh my gosh. But I think a lot of folks who are already there are already there. They're already, oh, if there's some problem with the child, or they're going through something, or we notice something, we're the ones who are already there trying to get them the help. I mean, it's not, I mean, there's odd ducks to everything, but
Right.
I think in a lot of those cases, those parents are doing that. They're not doing it because there's legislation or fear of, oh my God, what if I don't, step my stuff up? I'm going to get in trouble. I don't think any of us, or responsible parents, don't parent out of fear of being incarcerated.
No doubt.
Um,
No doubt.
but and those that are not parenting that way don't really fear being incarcerated, or it doesn't even cross their mind that there could be some sort of repercussion. So there's a lot of points you just made there, and I want to talk about them kind of piece by piece. But I guess the question I have here then, to everything you just said, which I agree with, can you legislate good parenting or healthy relationships? It is what it is. The people are going to be who they are. I don't know that the people who, the other Jennifer Crumbleys that are out there, and families that are like that, are even paying attention to this case, or even know that this is even happening. Or even if they did, are connecting the dots enough to realize, maybe this is kind of like my situation, and seeing kind of the mirror effect of, oh, maybe I should do this or do that. I don't know that a lot of people even have the capacity or the capability to make those sort of connections.
Yep, now I 100% agree with you. So now that I'm done with my pie in the sky,
Now that I got to stomp on
unicorn and
that.
rainbows, because you wish society could have an eye opener event that says, "Hey, we can do a little bit better by our own actions towards
Mhm.
others." All right, so now we'll put that aside
Yeah.
because we'll get back down to the granular again here, and I do agree that this is a case that is going to be instrumental in a landmark case moving forward for other instances of school shootings when they do happen, because unfortunately it's going to happen again.
Hmm.
Hopefully less frequently. I'm hoping we're going to see an arc of decline
Yeah.
rather than incline on these things. Because again, every time we have an event like this, we do learn a lot from it. And schools get better. Uvalde was a great example of law enforcement getting better. And there's been shootings since then, I think, have been quicker responses, and school resources officers are better, and parents are more attuned. Even with this case, you know, we're saying that large number of people are already doing the right things. Large number of parents are doing the right number of things. You're absolutely right, because I guarantee you, there's a lot more troubled teens out there than there are school shooters out
Hmm.
there. And because there are involved parents, there are involved administrators, there are involved teachers, but on this case, it'll be interesting. I was trying to do my own thought experiment on this one, with if we removed the word parent from the case and took the actions of them as individuals, would they have been found guilty of the same kind of crime? Um, that's the big question,
Yeah.
because I think that's the real test here: is if they weren't parents, would they still be found guilty from their knowledge
Yeah.
and lack of action based on that knowledge?
Hey, it's Tony Brueski. If you like the podcast, be sure to like, subscribe, and press that bell so you don't miss any of our updates on the cases we're following for you right here at the Hidden Killers podcast from True Crime Today. And thanks